Hey everyone, it's Jan, and I'm here to talk to you today about my recent trip to Las Vegas for the Beachbody Coach Summit, which is basically a 3-day intensive coach training event. And I signed up for this event back in December after being a coach for a few months and was told that I really needed to go because it just does wonders for your business and stuff. So I signed up for it back in December and also signed up Chris. And we didn't really plan a way of paying for it. Like, obviously, we paid for the tickets, but we didn't really plan on how we were going to like pay for airfare and hotel and stuff. So a few weeks before, we decided to buy all that stuff, and we had to put it on a credit card because we hadn't planned at all for it. And a couple days before we left, which was going to be June 18th, Chris comes to me and he was like, "So if you pay all of the bills that are due before the 18th, my check doesn't go through until Friday, which would have been the 20th, and we're barely going to have uh, enough money for food and stuff." And I was like, "Oh, great. How are we going to do this?" So, this is my story of how we survived in Vegas. Pretty much broke. We found out how much money we could put on the credit card before maxing it out, which was not very much. We found out how much money we could spend on the debit card without overdrawing, which was not very much. And Chris actually sold a few of his hunting DVDs, and so we had $40 in cash going out there. And we knew ahead of time that parking was going to be like $40, and there would be a $100 deposit fee for our hotel when we got out there, which basically was just us saying we won't trash the place while we're out there. So um, we arrived in St. Louis, and we did not have to pay for parking that day. Thank goodness. So we got to hang on to that $40. And it was $25 for the checked bag, which I believe we put on a credit card. And we had to eat lunch there because I refused to eat lunch on the plane. And I found out that there would be coffee on the plane. So that kept me out of the Starbucks. And so we had a really good flight out to LAX. If you don't already know my story about how we met the pilot, then I'll tell you that later if you're really curious. And then we landed in LAX and we had to eat supper out there because I was starving. And then flew to Las Vegas. And when we landed there at like 9 because the plane was an hour late. And so we had just missed the shuttle from the airport to our hotel. So we pretty much waited around for an hour waiting for that shuttle to come pick us up because we could not afford a cab. And I refused to get on the bus, basically. So we waited an hour. We finally got to our room at like 11, which if you think about it, it felt like 1 a.m. my time because of jet lag. So we did have to pay that $100 deposit, so that was just $100 gone that we didn't even have anymore. So yeah, we went to bed and got up that next morning, and we tried to get a shuttle from our hotel to take us to the MGM Grand, which was on the Strip, and we found out that they didn't make those shuttle trips until 10 o'clock in the morning, and we needed to be out there by 8. So we walked 2 miles, and if you've been following me, you know that I have an infection in my toe, so that was not fun at all, and it was because we couldn't afford a cab. And so we got registered for Summit, I got a really cool name tag that says Emerald Coach. I was so happy. I was so pleased with myself that I got to walk around with that. Um, it just means that I have two coaches under me. Uh, so I found out that nothing else was really going on summit wise until about 2 o'clock that afternoon. So Chris and I went to a Denny's that wasn't too far away from the MGM Grand, and we loaded up on pancakes, eggs, and bacon because we were not going to eat lunch that day. We just knew that we could not afford to eat lunch that day if we wanted to eat the next day, basically. Um, so we we had breakfast. We had a game plan of how we were going to pay for our meal, and we sat down and decided which seminars we were going to go to. Part of Summit is you get to go to seminars that are given by the top coaches, just telling you like how they became really great coaches. And so we decided who we were going to go sit and listen to. At 2 o'clock that day, we got to go to the Shalene Johnson PIO workout, which is her new Pilates and yoga routine. And it was really hard, but really awesome. And we went to the general session. Um, we got to listen to the Beachbody CEO talk to us for a while and just some other stuff going on. And then later that night, we went to my coach's room, and she was having a little party, so we got some snacks and drank some wine, and that was really awesome to meet other people that are on our team. And we later decided that we'd all go out to eat that night. And um, so just in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, can we afford to eat here? Like, this is the MGM Grand. What are prices going to be like? So we sit down, and I'm looking at the menu, and I just kind of lean over to Chris, and I'm like, can we afford to eat here? Because that was going to determine whether I ate, like, a higher priced meal or just an appetizer, if we shared a meal. And he was like, yeah, since we didn't eat lunch today, we can afford to eat here. So I just, you know, that feeling that you get when you sit down and you're like, can I even afford to be here? Like, that was an intense feeling. I've never had to think about that before. It was really kind of scary for me, not knowing if this is going to be the ticket that pushed us over our overdraw limit. So that was Thursday. We were pretty close to overdrawing the account, but we did not, luckily. And then Friday morning, we woke up and we got on the free Wi-Fi in the hotel, and we found out that Chris's check did go through, and so we were good. We were good on money. We were not going to starve anymore. We could afford to eat. We just couldn't afford to do anything else, basically, if we wanted to have money when we got back. So it was really disappointing to find out that tickets for next year's summit were going to be on sale for $99, and we couldn't afford to do that. We could not afford to buy them. If we wanted to have money to come back and buy groceries and live for the next month or two, before our checks started increasing. So we did not buy summit tickets for next year, which are going to be in Nashville. And I was so upset. Um, but then I found out that it sold out and you had to put yourself on a wait list. So when we got home Sunday, I just put us on the wait list. And I was like, fine, we'll just figure out a way to pay for this if we come off the wait list. But it was really, really upsetting to miss out on next year. Like, if I don't come off the wait list, I'm just going to beat myself up because that's so disappointing to know that mismanaging our money and being poor uh, might make me miss out on next year's summit. Um, I want to tell you a little bit about an event that I went to. It was put on Thursday morning at 11. It was hosted by Lindsay Matway, who is one of the top coaches. She is the top coach, actually, in Beachbody. She makes over $1 million a year and has like thousands of coaches in her downline. So she's really awesome and knows what she's talking about. So I was like, I'm going to go listen to her. And she had a few of her top coaches talk, give their story, and like give their tips on how they became really great coaches. And one of them got up there and started talking about how her story started when she was kicked out of nursing school for bad grades. And I sat there and I was like, this is my story. This is my vet school. Like, sorry, I'm getting emotional. But she was basically kicked out for bad grades and was told not to try again for 5 years. And that was similar to the letter that I received from the University of Illinois last year about this time, stating that thanks for trying to get back in, but you're not good enough, basically. And that was a crushing moment. Anyway, she took that failure and went on to become one of the top producing coaches in the business. And at that moment, I just gave myself permission to be a coach. Like, I'm gonna get emotional, but I'll do this anyway. About this time last year, I was really, really depressed because of what happened with vet school. Like, I didn't care about anything. I didn't care about my body. I didn't care about health and fitness. I didn't even care about the fact that I was engaged and supposed to be getting married. I didn't care. I just, all I cared about was the fact that I was stupid and had been kicked out of this vet school that I had tried my entire life to get into. Like, that was my only focus for the first 23 years of my life, to be quite honest, was getting into vet school. And the fact that I had just, like, squandered an entire year, like, that was really hard to get through. Like, I spent the entire summer just, like, eating myself to death. Like, that was my goal. My goal was to not live anymore. So, in September of last year was when I decided that I wasn't going to live like that anymore. And so a friend of mine, like, really helped me get out of that slump. And she helped me get on Shakeology, and she introduced me to my coach, and she introduced me to Tony Horton. And I believe that it is Beachbody, my friend, my coach, and Tony Horton. They're the reasons that I am here making this video today, because I probably would not be here if I hadn't made that decision in September. That is how bad this depression was. So I started getting pretty good results. I was doing 10-minute trainer and Power 90, and my coach approached me about becoming a coach. She was like, basically, you're already sharing your story and helping people anyway. You're inspiring people already. Why not make a business out of it? And I was like, well, sure. So I signed up originally because I was money motivated. Like, if I could help people get on the right track with their health and fitness, then why not be paid for it, But I wasn't really serious about it. I'm not really sure what was keeping me from being really serious about my business. And I recently got to thinking I was probably not giving myself permission to be successful because I had failed so miserably in vet school. It was like I wasn't giving myself permission to be a business owner. Like, I didn't deserve it somehow. So that's why I wasn't being a good coach, I guess. But back to Summit, after hearing her talk, I gave myself permission to be a coach because I was like, if she can do it, then why can't I? If she can take a miserable failure and become a great success, why can't I? Why can't I help people get on Shakeology? Because I know how much it helped save my life. Like, why can't I help people get on Shakeology and get healthy? Why can't I introduce people to Tony Horton, the man who I watch every single day? um, Help me get healthy? Why can't I help people and also get paid for it? Like, people make businesses all the time and get paid for it. Why can't I? So it was like after listening to her was when I gave myself permission to be a coach, basically, even though I've been doing this for like 6 or 7 months. Oh, I'm very sorry for being so emotional. um, so yeah, that was like my light bulb moment, and the rest of Summit was awesome. I got to do Tony Horton's new workout, which is going to be awesome. It is called P90, and it is for those people. I could describe myself as those people that were not ready to go right into P90X. Um, for the people that aren't quite ready for the intense workouts. So it's like a lead-in program, and it was really really awesome to see Tony Horton right in front of me, the man who I work out with every single day. Like, that was really awesome. Um, so yeah, like I went to these coach seminars. They gave me really good tips on how to be an awesome coach, like their tips and tricks, and I just keep thinking back to that moment where I gave myself permission to be a coach. Like I I used to apologize for what I did. Like, oh, you think Shakeology is too expensive. I'm sorry. Or you think Shakeology doesn't taste good. I'm sorry. But like, why should I apologize for that? Because it helped me. It has helped thousands of other people get healthy. And like, why am I apologizing for a product that works? Or like, people say no to a workout program, and I'm like, well, fine, it's okay, but this helped me more than the gym ever helped me. And why should I apologize for trying to hook people up with awesome programs? I'm done apologizing for being a coach and helping people. I'm done. Like, why can't I help people? So in a nutshell, that's basically how Summit basically changed my views on myself and on this coaching opportunity. And um, I thank Beachbody for helping me lose 40 pounds. And I still have like 20 more to go before I'm even at my goal weight, but I just feel blessed to be a part of this. And despite going to Vegas with little to no money, I would not change it because it really solidified the fact that this is what I want to do. Like, I do not need to go to vet school to be happy or to feel good about myself or to feel worthwhile. Like, helping people as a coach makes me just as good, you know? So, Um, I would not trade my experience at Summit for anything. It was incredible. Like, even though I didn't get to personally meet Tony Horton, it was still worth going out there for. Even though I came back with severe dry skin. Like, when they say dry heat, they really mean it. So, yeah. Thanks for listening to me ramble. I just wanted to get on here and explain how important Summit was to me. Um, and that Chris and I basically spent all of our money to get out there because it's that important to us. Like helping people is important enough for us to go out to Vegas and get this incredible coach training opportunity. So yeah, I just wanted to share my story with you. And if you have any questions, you can leave a comment. You can follow me on Facebook. You can send me a message on Facebook. I'm sure that we're friends on Facebook if you're watching this video. So, um, yeah, I will talk to y'all later. See ya.